up next. Jenna, back to you.
All right, Jenny, thanks. Have a great show. Time for us to go viral here on First Things First. The 49ers took down the Rams yesterday 34-31 behind a 33-yard Robbie Gould walk-off field goal. And after the game, George Kittle did his best Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson impersonation to express his excitement.
If you smell what the Niners are cooking, woo!
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
This again.
Oh, wow.
This again. To distract the audience from this Photoshop, Kit, I've got a conspiracy theory.
You look
I think it's the next
You
big...
always look the best, Jenna.
Because they're afraid to make fun of me. But Broussard, you look terrible.
What is that?
Guys, I said I wanted to distract
I look worse than
Photoshop.
Nick.
You're
Yeah.
Randy Macho Man Savage.
look
I'm
great.
Mr. Perfect. Jenna's not even a real
I'm not even.
wrestler.
I'm like an American Ninja Warrior.
Is it in play that Roger Goodell has like a major investment in some divorce attorney firm nationwide? Because putting 3 great football games on the final shopping Saturday before Christmas
I know, it's just
is
wrong.
I told my wife,
Good.
my wife says, why is there NFL on Saturday? I'm like, oh, it's a weird thing. Oh, so there's no football on tomorrow? No. Same thing. So wait, back-to-back days, 12 straight hours of football. Yeah, but I promise we'll be able to, these games won't be that good. They were amazing
Fantastic
games.
games.
The Texans-Bucks was great.
Yep.
Patriots-Bills was awesome. That game goes down to the wire. It was great. It was great football. I don't know why it has to be the Saturday before Christmas.
2 words, Nick. Online shopping.
Online. Man, yeah.
That's what you got. It takes a lot of the fun out of it, but it's more convenient.
No, it's fun when it shows up at your door.
Yeah, it's very
2 more
convenient.
words.
It was a great
$4.99 to have it
football
all
weekend.
wrapped.
That was a
very
great win by the Niners. Important win. Keep that 1-seed hope alive.
And you got the Rams
Out.
done for the future.
Oh, for the future. Yeah, for here, for now.
All right. Let's end with the biggest game of the weekend. Dak and the Cowboys taking on Carson Wentz and the Eagles. Pick this up first quarter. Wentz came out motivated. Finds his tight end, Dallas Goedert, for the 6-yard touchdown to put the Eagles up 10-0. Let's go, he says. Jump to the end of the third. Miles Sanders, touchdown. Philly up 17-6. Sanders with a $156 total yards. Dak and the Cowboys with one more chance, 4th and 8. Dak to Michael Gallup. That's a miss. Eagles defense coming up big as they did all day long. Philly wins. They now can clinch a playoff berth next week with a win over the Giants. All right, Nick, what happened here? Did the Eagles win this game or did the Cowboys lose it?
I'd love to say the Eagles won the game. I picked the Eagles to win the game. I don't think a lot of people were doing that. I thought Carson Wentz would step up. He did. The Eagles home field, the Eagles better coaching. For all those reasons, I'd love to sit here and say, told you the Eagles would just go out and take care of business. And they did, but that wasn't the story. The story was the Cowboys' high-powered offense in the biggest game of the season, the biggest game anyone on the Cowboys have played since the playoff game last year against the Rams, falling flat on their face. The story was Jason Garrett hanging on to his job by a thread, not being able to get his team not even get the right people on the field. Biggest play of your season. 4th and 8, season on the line. Amari Cooper's on the sideline. Randall Cobb's on the sideline. Michael Gallup, Tavon Austin, who's a gadget player, Jason Witten, who's an announcer, and Blake Jarwin, who's a 3rd-string tight end. Those are the weapons you have out there. And Amari said he wasn't tired. He said that wasn't it. And by the way, you had a timeout even if you were tired. You had 3 of them. Could have used a timeout to get your right people on the field. That, running a speed option on 3rd and 1 in the beginning of the second half, getting 3 field goals, and that's the entirety of your offense, and 2 of those field goals came on short fields after the Eagles missed field goals of their own. It was the worst offensive performance, for all things considered, for the Cowboys in a year and a half. In their biggest spot of the season. To me, that's the story of the game. Dak Prescott, again this season, not for his career, again this season, coming up short against the best competition as opposed to stepping up against the best competition, and a devastatingly disappointing Cowboys season coming to a somewhat predictable conclusion.
I agree with you, Nick. I mean, with all due respect to the Eagles, and they deserve credit. Obviously, they went out there with a depleted roster, and they got it done, okay, in a must-win situation. However, the Cowboys clearly beat themselves, and I would argue they beat themselves the week before, not the Sunday before, but during the week of preparation, because it was evident that their game plan going in was not to run the ball down Philadelphia's throat like they'd done for the previous 3 years. It was to pass the ball, even though our quarterback has a damaged shoulder, and he's not Aaron Rodgers to start with, okay, but we're going to throw the ball 44 times, 43 times, even though he's got a bad shoulder, even though the week before, when we finally looked like the team everybody thought we could be, it was because of our running game. We ran for 250 yards approximately. Even though Ezekiel Elliott, one of the best running backs in the league, averaged 115 yards a game in his career against Philadelphia, and they're 5-0 in those games. His last 4 games against the Eagles, he goes over 100 yards. Despite all of that, they came up with the game plan to throw the football at a 3-to-1 ratio to running it. And that is why they lost the game. Their best player is Ezekiel Elliott. He got 13 carries. 13 carries. You mentioned the 3rd and 1 with Tony Pollard on the option. They give it to him. He fumbles. That cost them 3 points at least. Maybe it could have been 7 if they could have sustained the drive. They had 4 3rd and 1s. 2 of them they gave to Ezekiel Elliott. He got the first down both times. The 2 others, Tony Pollard, and then a pass to Amari Cooper that was incomplete. That's all part of a poor game plan.
And let's talk about those 2 3rd and 1s for a moment before we get to the final play of the game. On 3rd and 1, where they are, if you are not going to hand the ball to Zeke, then I don't mind if you take a deep shot, if you take a shot downfield, if your plan is to then go for it on 4th down. What you can't do is run a play where you could lose yards, which they do on the speed option, because it's not just because he fumbled. That play was dead. And I know Zeke tapped out after 1st down. You can bring him back in on 3rd down, but this play right here, even if he doesn't fumble, you've lost a yard, and then it's a harder 4th down. The other 3rd and 1 where you throw it, I don't mind that if your plan is we're going for it on 4th down. They sent the punt team out there, and then they got a false start to boot, so it didn't matter. But listen, they started the game 3 and out, field goal drive, 4 and out, 4 and out, before they get the field goal before the half. The other issue, though, Broussard, because I agree with you 1,000%, 47 dropbacks to 15 called runs is egregious. But why weren't you more productive on those 47 dropbacks? Why wasn't Amari Cooper more, I can't even say involved, more productive? Because he was targeted, I think, 12 times. It was just a perfect microcosm for the Cowboys' missed opportunities. Tavon Austin beats a guy. One of the only times all year, not because of blown coverage, because he just beats a guy. He's wide open. Dak misses him. Then Dak throws a really good ball to Michael Gallup. He drops it. And then on your biggest play of your season, you don't have your 2 best pass catchers in the football game? That's egregious. That is coaching. Now, those 2 plays were execution. Tavon, the missed throw, and the Gallup missed catch. That's execution. That's coaching right there because, by the way, it's also 4th and 8. You don't have to take a deep shot to the end zone. Right. You do have all your timeouts. You just need a 1st down there to keep the pressure on Philadelphia, and the Cowboys come up short once again.
Yeah, no, everything you mentioned is totally correct. And again, I'm going back to the run because I think that's the strength of this team. It should have been the strength of this team all year. And were they scared off by the fact that Philadelphia has a good run defense? Maybe, but why? Last year, they had the 6th best rush defense in the league, and you ran the ball down their throats. 2 years ago, they had the best rush defense in the league, and you ran the ball down their throats. And all of a sudden, you come out. It seemed like Kellen Moore, we knew with him coming in as the OC, it was going to be a different, offensive system. And it seemed like that just has gotten away from them, and they've gotten away from who they are. And yesterday was a great example.